Hello! Here we are again, day 3 of Love Language Week. Today we are going to focus on the love language of receiving gifts. While reading this chapter, I was actually a little surprised at what I found. You think of giving gifts as literally here's a present. But as we go on today, you will learn that that is not always the case. There are many ways of doing this. A couple ways. And I apologize in advance. It's been chaotic at my house today. Like, if a kid comes in here, it probably will happen. Or if you hear something in the background, sorry. It's been crazy trying to get this video done. But, if they interrupt, that's just part of what this is all about, right? Okay, so explanation of receiving gifts. A gift is something that you can hold in your hand and say, look, she was thinking about me, or she remembered me. You must be thinking of someone to give a gift. The gift itself is a symbol of that thought. It doesn't matter if it costs money. What is important is that you thought of them. And it is not the thought implanted only in the mind that counts, but the thought expressed in actually securing the gift and giving it as the expression of love. So it's a process. You thought it, you went and got it, you maybe wrapped it or did something special with it and actually gave it to that person. That's really thoughtful. And it's a process to do that. And it's a big expression of love. So a very small example of this is a child going out in their yard, seeing a flower or a dandelion, as they would see a small child, obviously, see a dandelion, think, I want to give that to my mom. Pick it, bring it over, hand it to them. And in that moment, as a mother, you felt really loved. And that was the process for the child, thinking of mom right when they saw that beautiful flower, as we know it as a weed. But that didn't matter to you because it was an expression of love. So since the beginning of time, children have been inclined to give gifts to their parents, which shows that this is a fundamental way of giving love. So since it's been a trend over time and an instinct to give gifts, it is clearly a fundamental way of expressing love. Gifts equals the symbol of love. So an example of this, which is not kid related, but a wedding ring. It is a symbol of a love between a man and a woman. And to some people, it is more sentimental than it is to others. So the receiving gifts is not my love language. And I love my husband very, very much. And I love the ring that he got me. But I choose comfort over a beautiful, flashy ring. I wear a silicone ring, so to me, it is important for me to wear it and represent that I am married to him, but it's not so important where it needs to be the original, the one he gave me on the wedding day, and something that's so special. To some people, that is very important, and to some people, they'll never wear them because they know what they have. They don't need to use that physical thing as their symbol. So many people are moved emotionally by gifts and by sentimental thing, or the thing that represents it. It's a symbol of the love between you and another person, you and your husband, you and your child, whatever that may be. So as a lot of parents, I'm sure, think, if this is your child's love language, they're like, I can't afford that. I ain't made of money. I can't be giving my kids gifts all the time just to make them feel loved. So as I stated earlier in the explanation, this does not have to be an expensive thing. It can be created, it can be found, it can be made. It doesn't have to be something that's always purchased. So to the person that's love language is receiving gifts, the cost of the gift means nothing unless it is out of line with what they can afford. So for an older child, older adult, a young adult, a teen, they can probably understand that more, where like mom and dad got me this super expensive gift. So that was extremely thoughtful because it was out of what they normally can afford. So they worked hard for me to have that. That's a huge expression of love. But to young kids, and honestly, a lot of people, they can't understand that or grasp that money concept as much. So I don't think it's as important to spend a bunch of money on them. But I mean, it's just the thought that counts. It can be as simple as, Here's a box of Cracker Jacks and it makes their day. Here is a love note from me that I put in your lunchbox. You know, things like that. It can be as simple as, you know, bringing home a pizza for dinner that night. It's really not about giving expensive gifts, as a lot of people might think. And like a single flower when you visit your daughter, you know, anything like that. Almost anything you give will be received as an expression of love. So that is important to remember. It doesn't mean to spoil everybody rotten. It means to just be thoughtful in your gift. So this was the part that surprised me about this chapter. A part of receiving gifts is the gift of self, the gift of presence. The gift, your body being with them, is their gift. So it's your body, basically. I personally think this is really important for kids. In the book, it talks more about times of crisis, being there for somebody in times of crisis. The powerful gift, if you give it, your primary love language is receiving gifts. So being there for somebody when they're going through something. Your body becoming the symbol of love, not a thing. I think when it comes to younger kids, or actually, I mean, really growing up, you want your parents there for you, right? I mean, at your sporting events, you want to have your parents watching you. At your graduation, you want them sitting in the stands. And that in itself is the gift. So like I said, reading this originally, I was like, this isn't anybody in my family's love language. But I was like, yeah, but the fact that I'm sitting in the stands and cheering on my daughter when she's running up and down the soccer field, that she appreciates. And that is a gift to her, and that is an expression of love. So, a very interesting take, and not something I expected or a lot of people expect when it comes to that love language. So, when you weren't thinking before, I don't think this is my kid's love language, it might be. So, something to think about. And then for those that have receiving gifts as their main love language, the worth has nothing to do with monetary value and everything to do with love. I've kind of said that over and over, but he really punches the chapter home with that one. So really that's it in a nutshell. If this is your love language and if it's your child's love language, I'd love to hear more and your take on it. And tomorrow we will be doing, Acts of service. I like that one too. I love them all, but I have a couple of favorites. So let's end with a Bible verse and a prayer, as we always do. So this one is Luke 6:38. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. That's a good one. So whatever will be given to you will be given back in some way or another. All right, and in a prayer. Oh, you guys, Jesus, thank you for this amazing group of women that I keep thanking you for. I'm going to keep doing it, and hopefully we can expand this amazing group, this community. And thank you for showing these different love languages to us, and offering it in a way that we can better understand the people in our family, our children, our loved ones. And we just pray that you can continue to be with us. We can feel your love all the time, and that we remember the gifts that you give us. The biggest one is love. So Lord, let us do all things in the light of love, in the light of you. And we just pray to continue to feel you, like I said, and feel this love this week of Valentine's Day.